This week on Hermitcraft.
I'm the magic. And we grew a beautiful tree too! The blood of our enemies truly is the best fertilizer.
Welcome to Joe Hills Plays Hermitcraft. My name is Badger Spanner. Our writer is JoeHillsTSD. Let's take a look at all the events and mishaps that occurred this week. Starting with Joe Hills, who has chosen to gear up with 2 freshly enchanted iron hoes to collect saplings and reforest the east field of his vineyard.
Look at this. We've got Efficiency 5, we've got Unbreaking 3, we've got Mending, and we got Fortune. And because we are professionals running a business where we cannot afford downtime, we have a second one with similar specs that can be swapped out at any time. Look at that. We are ready to deliver multiple 9s for your just-in-time needs.
Unfortunately, when Joe tried to take a bow, his audience turned on him.
So here's what we're going to do. We're going to create some cover for ourselves here. Boom. Look at that. Using the foliage to our advantage. Not sure that we're actually hitting anybody with a crossbow. Yep, there's a guy with a crossbow we hit. There's another. We're just going to hit all the guys with the crossbow.
Trees aren't the only thing with bows making waves on the server this week, as Joe Hills discovers whilst flying past the starboard bow of his Ever Given model and realises precisely how much terraforming is left to be done before the world download.
How? How does this...
Fortunately, Joe Hills' earlier work on the nether roof made it a snap for him to fly to the mining desert and back in time to set things right. In another case of setting right incomplete Season 7 projects, Joe Hills this week realised that he never actually finished the right side of his Slimer model from way back in October.
A giant gaping hole in his slime body. And I don't know if you've ever tried to run a Halloween attraction for children, but kids climb on everything. And the last thing we need is kids falling into this hole in Slimer here, instead of being devoured by his gaping frontal maw.
Joe also realised there was supposed to be a continuation of the corn maze through Slimer's intestines, but decided creating a mental obstacle course would be more fun.
Slimer's Corn Maze Phase 2. Objective: achieve your life goals. How to play: climb out of this gaping ghost maw and live your best life. The walls in this maze can be visualized as paths walked by alternate universe versions of yourself. Time travelers are also acceptable. Good luck. Oh, I forgot to mention that the walls are trapped. There you go, kids!
There may not be a real solution to that one, kids, but hey, at least you can't fall sideways into a fake slimy ghost. A more straightforward path is being laid beneath the Tower of Hercules lighthouse as Joe Hills has finally gotten around to properly connecting it to his spawner cave.
I really feel like having a clear boosh to glass transition here.
The more attractive tunnel and entrance may make the lighthouse a more enticing stop for viewers during the world download, though it does contain a year of Joe's planning notes, so there probably should be a warning sign somewhere.
And it'll be like crawling inside my brain. You can be like the snuggliest little Vendel parasites. Yay, Snuggles!
If that's not enough signs for you, you're in luck. Joe Hills is back inside his model of the Ever Given this week, adding signs for all his $10 and up Patreon patrons who supported him this season.
Every year I say I'm gonna start this early, and then I never do.
If Joe does get tired of being wrong, he can always stop at the nearby Wizards of Wine winery, where Joe Hills has spent a good portion of the week renovating the master bedroom.
I'm not gonna say that I've completely perfectly replicated Chris Perkins' vision, because honestly, his vision burns into our imaginations so bright and so true that, there's not much we can do to truly replicate it.
If that's not a good place to lay your head down and dream, it's probably because you realise that anything from Ravenloft is a nightmare. And that's about it for this week's Hermitcraft. Our writer is JoeHillsTSD, and I'm Badger Spanner. If you want to hear me perform as Eleanor from The Good Place, check out Good Place Road in this week's End Screen Theatre. Don't forget to leave a like while you're still here and subscribe so you won't miss future Hermitcraft. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.
You may have noticed that this episode was mid-roll ad-free. That's thanks to Patreon sponsor Winnie T. Ford. Woo! Thank you very much, Winnie. In lieu of that mid-roll ad, I will now read a poem of my own devising. The waves wash the rocks, while the hermits place last blocks. It's all polished now. Until next time, y'all, this is Joe Hills from Nashville, Tennessee. Keep adventuring.